Hey guys, MacGuffin here with another high-level StarCraft 2 game. Tonight's game is of course from the Intel Extreme Masters Kiev finals between SlayerSMMA and mTwDimaga. Now of course SlayerSMMA, very popular Terran in Slayer's house. Does a lot of the sort of similar plays you'll see from Boxer, although he executes them quite a bit better. He is one of the best Terrans in the world, and he's very happy to be playing this game versus Dimaga. Of course, he is in the finals, so this is for all the bananas. Now, Dimaga is of course the Ukrainian Zerg. You don't see too much of him outside of the European tournaments, but he is very good. He does favour a similar style to Stefano with heavy upgrade lings, although Stefano usually opts for more Ling Infester, using his gas on Infester going straight to Hive and getting those Ultralisks out. Although Dimaga does get more of those Mutalisks. Apart from that, fairly similar. I think it's a bit of a European Zerg style. You see it more on the European servers and in European players. Anyway, they have spawned on Tal'Darim Altar with the horizontal close positions. Dimaga is scouting clockwise, so he's going to be going the exact wrong way away. Of course, his Overlord will soon see the Terran base. Looks like MMA has gone for the no-gas barracks, which means he'll probably be expanding, since he has no proxy barracks on the way. And it looks like Dimaga is going to go for that hatch first. Fairly safe for him to get away with it in these positions. Unless he scouts something crazy, although he might not get inside the base in time, so he might be a bit worried that there might be some sort of tech build going on, or some hidden barracks. And what are we going to see from these positions? Now, a very popular push, of course, not so much in these positions, but more so if the Terran spawned here and the Zerg player spawned here, or even if the Terran player spawned here, you'd see a lot of siege tank pushes around, sieging around the cliff, with a lot of Hellion / Medevac Marine elevator drops. And that can be very annoying to deal with if you go for one of those builds where you try and drone out and then get units later, because you need to kill that really before it starts setting up. Otherwise it's really hard to deal with. And yet we do see MMA going for that expansion of 1 racks. He has not got a gas yet, and the Overlord has spotted it. And Dimaga now knows there is 1 Marine on the field, perhaps looking for some Overlords that were coming from this position, although of course that is not where Dimaga has spawned for. And sometimes you'll see Zerg players using this Overlord and putting it up here on this little rock, and it is actually safe up there to a certain degree because it can't be shot by the ground units unless they lift this barrack. So if they switch on add-on, that's usually when it dies, which can be bad. But it is sometimes good to have it there just so you can see what everything's going on. Very reliable scouting. So we do have MMA getting a double gas up now. Dimaga is continuing to drone. He does have a gas up though as well. Looks like he'll probably be getting his metabolic boost shortly. And he has a few links on the map just now going out to check. And we do have a bunker coming up from MMA, so he's going to try and defend any quick ling run buys. Of course he's only got that 1 barracks, so he's not going to have a lot of units out in the field. And what is... ooh. MMA takes that mule off with that 1 trip left, because mules sometimes steal 30 minerals before they can return it. They disintegrate, so you actually lose it. So it's something that you see very good players doing when they just know exactly when that mule's going to run out. It's one of those things that you're probably just better off not doing if you're a low level player, because you probably just waste mule time. Anyway, we have 4 Marines out on the field. It looks like they might start scouting. They might just go try and clean the watchtowers. MMA might be familiar with Dimaga's playstyle, so he might know that he probably won't have a very big link present out on the map just yet. And it looks like he is sending those 2 Marines to loop around, and this 1 Zergling is not going to have any chance. It's a nice Marine micro, and takes out that Zergling with just 1 hit, or 2 hits actually. And he is now retreating back to his bunker. Do see the first reactor coming up, and that's likely going to be switched onto this factory. There it goes. And he is now getting the tech lab on that bunker. That'll get out the upgrades for the Terran players' infantry. And we'll be seeing some Marine Hellion to start off with the game. Now it is just about 6 minutes 30 into the game, and we do see that Dimaga is at 36 drones versus 27 SCVs, so he's got a bit of a drone lead. Not a lot of other units on the map though, so it looks like both players are really focusing on that macro. They want to get a really strong economy and put this into mid-game almost immediately. The 3rd queen for Dimaga is now out and now dropping down creep tumors. And looks like Dimaga's getting an early macro hatch. Got about 35 drones, so you can probably support that. And that, of course, is because that heavy ling style needs so much larvae to just keep those lings. We do have those first 2 Hellions. It looks like MMA is going to skimp on the Hellions and only going to scout with 2 initially. He has 2 more in his base, but he's leaving them there at the moment. It's very, very frugal by MMA. Usually you see more than 2 Hellions, although if your control's good, it doesn't matter. Although it looks like they might get surrounded here, the lings are going in, and if they loop around and catch the Hellions, it's going to be lights out for them. They do go around, and oh, looks like he gets caught, so unfortunately for MMA, he's going to lose those Hellions. And the lings are going to go right back into destroying those destructible rocks. Of course, if you're an avid StarCraft 2 player and you've been reading the tip at the beginning of the game, destructible rocks can be destroyed. So, pro tip. We do have another reactor coming down on this factory. It may be switching onto this starport to get some quicker medevacs out. We do have some Marines out on the field now, and they are going for those destructible rocks. We do also see the engineering bay coming out at about 8 minutes 30. That's a good time to get it to avoid mutilis, but also to start your upgrades. And looks like Dimaga is now opting for that double evo chamber, so he'll be opting for some upgrades as well. He is also getting his baneling nest, and his layers about halfway complete. Does have a lot of queens injecting his hatcheries, and he has getting his 3rd up, and he's bringing him to a total of 4 hatcheries. So that's a lot of lava injects. MMA continuing to power his units, and he did switch on that reactor onto that starport, and he is getting the double medevacs out at once. And ooh, we have a hidden expansion for MMA. He is taking out these rocks, so he'll be able to expand to this when he's in a safe position later in the game. But if he gets this up, gets a planetary there and a few missile turrets, it's going to be really hard for the Zerg to take out later in the game. Especially after a large engagement, the Zerg may decide to scout around to see if there's anything where he can poke if he can't take out the front, and he'll notice there's a planetary fortress there if he so chooses to get one. And that's going to be so hard to deal with just Zerglings, especially with this build. He is getting a Spire, so it looks like he's going to be focusing on muted Baneling. He's getting 7 Banelings out, as well as +1 Carapace and Armor. His first 2 medevacs are here. Looks like MMA is going to do a bit of poking to see if he can do any damage. Got to be careful, he is on the creep, he's going to want to scan, and yep, he's taking out those creep tumors, and nice scan. He's able to get 4 creep tumors in exchange, and here come the lings though. He's got to be careful, he has to be careful not to get surrounded. He does get a few surrounds. The Hellions that he's got to watch out for though, the Hellions are the ones that do so much of the damage. And looks like he's going to get a good surround, but he's able to, ooh, nice medevac for that, takes the actual evac, and ooh, saves that Hellion as well. And now these lings and banelings are victorious, but now these medevacs are going into the main, and he's going to drop in time, and ooh, nice move by Dimaga. He gets those lings there on time, and he splits up his army, doesn't take the whole one. There's the rest of his army now. Who knows this many Zerglings will be able to defend that push, and he just moves them back. He also has some lings down here patrolling, just looking for those shenanigan push, because those medevacs haven't gone home yet, and he knows that. Do see a Viking coming in here looking for overlords. It did miss this one overlord. And looks like MMA is going to drop in the main, and he is sending some lings in, but he gets that Hellion, and with that Hellion down, it looks like, oh, here comes the second Hellion. He does lift up, and he decides to abort this mission, and out he goes. And ooh, Dimaga does have a ling up here, but has he seen that base? He hasn't. This ling could be getting a super prize for being a good scout, but he's not. He's just right next to it. So, bit of a blunder on Dimaga's part. If he had seen that planetary fortress before it had finished completing, he could have probably sent some units in there to deal with it, and at least catch any of the SVVs that were transferring. Now in this position, MMA is going to get further ahead into a really good lead, I think, unless Dimaga is producing a lot of lings. His +1 is finished. He does have a few mutalisks out in the field. MMA's drop is still just loitering here, probably looking to come back at a further time. His mutalisks weren't able to find those dropships, unfortunately. Dimaga is up to 67 drones versus 62 SCVs, and it looks like MMA is starting to take the field. He does have +1 attack for his Marines, but Dimaga does have that armor and carapace. He is also starting the pneumaticized carapace. So it looks like Dimaga's going to be going for that overlord speed. Stims a few Marines, but this big ball of, ooh, and we have a lot of banelings morphing in. That is a lot of banelings, 26 banelings going in, and he could easily surround this army. It looks like he's going to get it. He gets before the siege, and that's going to mean the siege tank's not going to do any damage. Puts into a corner, and those banelings take out so many Marines. One Marine does escape in this medevac to tell the tale, but it looks like those mutalisks are going to hunt him down. And Dimaga not wasting any time, is going straight for the main. Only supply depots and a bunker holding up this one, and these banelings are going to go straight in, and they're just going to roll straight through that army. and they see them rolling. There's so many Balins, and it looks like he's going to kill all these SCVs, and that's going to take game 1 for Dimaga. Dimaga 1-up against SlayerSMMA in this series, and let's go to the next game.